This Rhodes Scholar program began in Everglades City, Florida, later moved to Florida City. We biked 79 miles in our 4 days of biking.
Also a very historic shell island that was part of the Calusa whole community in this area. He owned the pineapple plantation here, and he raised the pineapple to take to his wholesale market down in Key West. So,
the first people who came here were the Calusa Indians. The Indians didn't want to move, so they kept going further south until they got as far as the Everglades. And by that time, the Army in 1858 decided it wasn't worth trekking through the swamps trying to chase a dozen Indians. Because we're at sea level, and so when we have a hurricane, if the water surges up the river, it just floods everywhere.
So Mr. Smallwood got busy then, and he jacked this building up, and he built the sides on it. It was in actual operation until 1979. It was a working post office here until 1973.
That's Everglades City, and that's Everglades National Park. Northwest entrance, visitor center and dock. All the hostile elders made it up here.
Hi.
And then we left Jane's Scenic Drive and headed up East Main Tram Trail. A retired fireman owns about a 5-acre inn holding in Fakahatchee Strand. He just happened to be staying the night there when we arrived for our turnaround point. Some of his old firefighting buddies would visit, and they named it the Hilton.
No, that's right. You're going to be at the end, right? That's Paraffine, and it's a community of algae, fungi, small invertebrates that are all living together. And this stuff is the base of the food chain. So this is eaten by insects, it's eaten by snails, it's eaten by, when there's water here, tadpoles and small fish. Those, of course, insects and small fish and tadpoles and snails are eaten by little bigger fish, or by small birds, or raccoons, which are then eaten by, you know, our top predators, our alligators, our hawks. If you take this stuff away, that food source disappears, the base of our food chain here in the prairie, and all those other animals that depend on that food chain are not able to survive in these areas.
And it's called alligator flag. It sort of looks like a flag, and they named it that because when alligators move through it, it sort of waves and warns everyone the alligator's here.
could go right over your tail, mister.
An airboat ride through the Glades really lets you experience why the Everglades came to be called the River of Grass by author Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. Our airboat driver and guide, Elvis, calls the local alligator to come over.
That's your buddy.
Clyde Butcher is the renowned black and white photographer, often called the Ansel Adams of the Everglades. We visited his gallery and also got to meet him. Vultures are known to damage rubber wiper blades and windshield gaskets.
We're all happy and smiling.
Good. Starting our day 4 biking, Everglades National Park.
During the start of the Cuban Missile Crisis in the early 1960s, the United States built 4 Nike bases around Miami. One of these is in the Everglades, and we're biking to go take a tour of it.
This thing fires, and when this burns off, it's no longer producing thrust, so it just falls off, falls away. And they had a piece of wire lanyard on top, high tech, that when this fell away, the lanyard would pull a switch on this to light the main rocket motor. You know, and nothing fancy. And so the other rocket motor's here, the warhead is right here, and then the nose cone is where the guidance system is.
Go get it. Go get it. Got it.
There you go. What did he get?
Oh, it's a fish.
See how big it is?
Yeah, you sure do.
When you turn sideways?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
There it goes. Look at that. Look at that.
She can pet.
There's an immature ibis.
Hello. Hello.
It doesn't make any work.
Here's our incomparable trip leader, Mary, and her husband, Larry, the bike guide, along with all of our stalwart crew.